Alright, no chit chat, let's get into the Mathmech deck profile. Okay, let's get into the main deck. We'll start with Triple Bounce Lord. This is your best monster in the deck. This plus any Cyberse monster is pretty much full combo. Double Diameter. This is a reborn on summon, and it gives your extra deck the Omni Negates for the turn. One Nabler and one Multiplication. These are combo pieces that you search during the combo, so you only need one of us. For the extenders, triple Mathmech Sigma. As long as you don't control the monster in the extra monster zone, you can summon this from hand or graveyard, and it's a tuner, which can be a non-tuner monster as well. Triple Mathmech Addition and triple Mathmech Subtraction. These boost and lower a monster's attack by 1000, and then special summon themselves, so more free bodies. Parallel Exceed, it's 2 free bodies. Backup Secretary and one-time passcode. This should be another backup secretary, but I've only got one, so it is what it is. For hand traps, 3 Nibiru, 2 Phantasme, 3 Ash. Pretty self-explanatory, I think. For the spells, 1 Mathmech Equation. So this is a searchable monster reborn, so it's just more extenders. Triple Signet Binding, it's your rotor. Double Cosmic Cyclone, we hate back row. 1 Called by the Grave, we hate hand traps. For traps, we have Mathmech Superfactorial. This is your turn 1 play. It sets up, well, it summons a Trishula with an Omni Negate on your opponent's turn, so very strong if it goes off. And triple Infinite Impermanence, more hand traps, always good. Going to the extra deck, we will start with Mathmech Final Sigma. This card is a Towers in the extra monster zone and does double battle damage. So paired this with Mathmech Multiplication, it becomes a 6k attack monster with double battle damage. It's a one-shot machine. Then we have Mathmech Magma. This is just a generic level 8 monster. It's also a tuner, which can come up sometimes, but for the most part it's a generic level 8 Cyberse. Next we have 2 Primal Mathmech Alembertian. This is a on summon, this searches any card you want, basically, and it's also a non-target reborn. And we run 1 Lapation. Lapation is the Trishula. So you summon this on your opponent's turn, and you detach up to 3 materials, and you get up to 3 effects. So you send a monster, send a back row, or send a random card in your opponent's hand to the graveyard. For the Link monsters, we have Link to Cycle and Link to Voti. Just the standard package in this deck, and probably your go-to play. Then we run Lingrivo. This is a generic Link 1 for the deck, and it also helps play through back row. Going to the Link 2s, Cyberse Wicked, the most important card. This gives your entire board protection. Oh, it gives what it points to protection, and it also searches any of your tuner monsters. Splash Mage, it's an extender. Splash Mage is an extender. It's also a water attribute. IP Masquerader, and this gives you more disruption on your opponent's turn. And for IP Masquerader, you're running both Nightmare Unicorn and Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. Unicorn shuffles back a card. Goddess can actually use one of your opponent's monsters as material, and then it's a skill drain when it hits the field. and it can also negate an effect that reborns a monster. So very nice. Next we have transcode and access code. Access code is your second way to OTK with this deck. You can pump access code up to 10,600 attack, and it gets like up to 4 pops on a single turn, so extremely good. Side deck, this is still a work in progress, but 1 Pankratops, 1 Lightning Storm, 1 Red Reboot, 1 Harpies Feather Duster, and 2 Twin Twisters, because I absolutely hate back row. So Dino Wrestler, Pankratops, and Lightning Storm are the most flexible out of these cards. But yeah, we play these because we hate back row. Then we go triple Gadala. Playing a Kaiju is, I think, very good this format. Gadala is the best one to choose right now, just because of Tri-Brigade and Smorg Box. Lancia is probably the best hand trap this format. I just don't want to main it, because if I come across a deck it doesn't work against, it's a completely dead card. And the one card I'm trying out is Retaliating Sea. This could also be something like no material, or just draw and Lockbird. You want something that can just shut your opponent out of the game, leave them on probably 1 monster, and then you just make your OTK and swing the game. So yeah, that is my deck profile. I'll move on to the combos and test hands in a minute. That should be shuffled enough. So let's do test hand 1. Subtraction, Cyclone, Balance Lord, Diameter, and Sigma. This is a very good hand. So ideally you'd be going first with this deck. Going second is not too bad. Going second this hand isn't too bad. You've got Imperm for the draw, that just helps break board. So going into our lines, probably start with a activation of Sigma. So Sigma activates in the hand. Since there's no monster in the actual monster zone, I can special summon it. Then we'll go normal Balance Lord, and effective Balance Lord, I pay 1,000, and then during the turn, I get another normal summon of the sideless monster. You don't have to normal summon immediately after this effect, so it's really good just to get in the habit of using the effect, just in case you might top deck something that can normal summon. So link off the Balance Lord for the Linked Disciple. This will go normal Diameter. So that's our additional normal summon, and on normal summon, Diameter can reborn a level 4 or lower sideless monster from the graveyard. So we'll reborn our Balance Lord, and then we're going to make a Primer, Mathmech, and Bertian here. We want to get this as early as possible with the Diameter underneath, just then it has an Omni negate for the entire turn. And on summon, it will detach at least 2 materials to search a Mathmech card. Depending on how many materials you detach, you can search different things, but we just want to search a Mathmech card, so 2 materials is all we need. And we're searching Mathmech Superfactorial. So now we'll turn balance sword into another link one. This time it will be devotee. It's worth noting, devotee has a mandatory effect on special summon, not just on link summon, but on special summon. And when it's summoned for the rest of the turn, you cannot link summon link 3 or higher monsters. Okay. So, looking at this, I will activate Alan Bershing, redistributes the monster to either reborn or to special from the hand a level 4 Mathmech monster. So we'll take this opportunity to special summon Mathmech Diameter. And then Devotee, because it was co-linked before being tributed, it gets the effect in its graveyard, which summons two tokens, two Cybers tokens. So we'll just use these as our tokens. They're not saying around though. So we'll link one with Link Disciple, and that will be Cybers Wicked. And then we'll turn the other one, Diameter, into not that, into IP Masquerader. At this point, Wicked can activate because the monster was special summoned to its own. We will banish the Balance Lord in our graveyard to search a Cybers Junior monster. So this will net us a Mathmech Nabla, and then we'll use the effect of Balance Lord that's now banished to special summon the Nabla that we just searched. Then we'll go set 2 and pass turn, and we will pass turn there. So during our opponent's turn, we have IP Masquerader, which can either use 2 and make Uniform, or it can use Alan Birchin and one of our opponent's monsters, and it will summon Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. So whenever we activate IP, or after we activate Super Factorial, which we can also do during our opponent's turn, the Super Factorial targets 3 Mathmech monsters in our graveyard and special summons them. If one of them gets DD-crowed, you can still summon the other 2 and still XC summon. That's worth noting. So yeah, you summon 3 and then you XC summon. And this will be Laptation. Laptation on summon detaches up to 3, and then you send a monster, a back row, and a card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. You can also activate Wicked on the summon of Laptation, or your IP summon. So you'll just have to banish a monster. So we'll banish Link Devotee, and that gets you a search. And this is for your follow-up. So pretty much you always want to search Diameter for your follow-up.